The time is now, and I think that if people can get this message, I think it's really important and it's critical if we care about our people and the land and the environment. So I think people need to look at that globally and how we are going to benefit here in BC and Canada, the indigenous, the federal and provincial governments, and industry. So I think everybody wins. We've taken 2 trips to Beijing and witnessed firsthand the coal, what it does to the air, people breathing it in, the respiratory issues that they have. And by us selling our LNG to them, they're going to convert from coal to LNG, which is going to lower the carbon sort of emissions altogether, which is, the highest is China. Like they burn a lot of, their carbon footprint is bigger than anybody else's in the world. So if we can hit that and lower it, then we're really, in a way, saving the environment. LNG is probably one of the cleanest fossil fuels that we have. And how, by exporting it to, say, to China, where they burn coal, which is more detrimental to the environment than LNG is. I'm Wet'suwet'en. I'm from the Wet'suwet'en First Nation, and that is 2.5 hours west of Prince George. There's a lack of education for LNG. There's no sort of place that you can go to get LNG information besides the BC LNG Alliance, but in particular to First Nations, because this is a brand new thing to sort of try to export our LNG from Canada. I think that's a huge deal. And when you think about it, we have 600 First Nations in Canada, and 200 of those nations are in BC. We have about 50 First Nations in northern BC, and half of those nations have signed agreements with LNG. So, people don't realize the stats. They don't realize what impact it has on BC, because not only can government and industry benefit from this, but our Indigenous people along those lines can benefit. Like, this is an economic opportunity that we can't bypass. We can't let it go, because I think that when you look at the socioeconomic issues within our community, what these projects can do if you play your cards right. I promote economic development because that's the way we can grow our money, get a good return on investment if we put our money into really good investment opportunities for our nations. The resource development within our community was forestry and mining and LNG. And so with all of the 3 different sort of resource development projects within our community, WFN, Wet'suwet'en First Nation, wasn't really profiting. Forestry was sort of, dwindling with all of the forest fires and all of those issues. And I don't think we have very good agreements in place. And with mining, we had a nearby mine shut down in the last year or 2. So the only other resource development project that we could have on the go was LNG. And so from my background, having, did my education at the master's level for social work, I've had to really learn a lot about natural resources and economic development and what that means to our community and how that will impact our community. So we've had to do our homework at a really fast pace in regards to LNG. It's been a learning curve, not only for me, but for our council that signed the agreements with both the province and industry. We've had to learn about what the impacts of LNG are to the environment and how we made sure that we upheld the highest environmental standards. So, which means we've made sure that we protected certain areas within our community's territory, our berry picking patches, where we go fishing, any ceremonial sites, we've made sure that those have been preserved. And so we've had to look at how the LNG pipeline would affect our community. And because we're midstream, it seemed pretty simple that they would dig a hole, lay the pipe, and reclaim the land. And so it seemed like a pretty, you know, straightforward approach. And while in council, we've had to do our due diligence with our members, and that meant having monthly community member meetings, making sure that we provide information about LNG, and making sure that we've informed our people about what it is that the council has been doing, and had a 3-year strategy in place while we were on council.